Hey folks, your OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of the BluePhonic WaveBeat HD Wireless Bluetooth Ear Phones. These are meant for sports and for exercise. They claim to have high fidelity sound, so I'm expecting the quality here to be also fairly good. Price point is under $30 on Amazon, and they have a magnetic end cap that can attach together like a necklace and be worn over your neck when you're not listening to music, and they have these durable wings that prevents them from falling loose. You can connect it to anything that has Bluetooth, whether it's a computer, it's a smartphone, Android, or iOS, and it also has a microphone, so you can use it to answer or reject phone calls pretty easily. There's a quick start guide and a user manual inside the box, and there's a hard shell carrying case as well to protect the earphones on the inside. Finally, there also are the adapters, which include a micro USB cable for charging and syncing. It takes roughly 2 hours to completely charge, and battery life is rated at around 6 hours of continuous playback. Finally, there's also sets of silicone tips, and additional wings to get a more comfortable fit, in addition to a clip that you can wear on your shirt to prevent the wire from dragging you down, and again, these longer wings if you need them for rigorous movement and exercise. So the WaveBeat comes in two colors. There is the black scheme, which is more common and labeled on the box, and there's a white one, which we have here for review purposes. In my opinion, this is slightly more elegant and different. It sets it apart from any other headset that I've seen in the same price range. Typically, we just have a kind of boring black color, but this one actually is etched in chrome, and again makes it look a lot more expensive than the price would suggest. The entire construction is made out of this polycarbonate in addition to aluminum shell that feels incredibly sturdy, although it does mean that the ear tips themselves are a little bit heavy, so wearing these for 7-8 hours might give you a bit more discomfort and stress. But all in all, they feel incredibly well constructed, and you can see the wire is also a flat ribbon wire, which is something I always like to see, and that means it doesn't really get tangled as easily as a traditional round wire. Basically, this goes over the back of your head or the back of your neck when you're listening to music, and again, they can be locked by strong earth magnets when you're done to be worn like a necklace. There is an inline remote control, which is made out of plastic. There is the BluePhonic logo, a microphone for answering phone calls, a covered up micro USB port for charging, and then the controls themselves: play, pause, answer, reject phone call, and also volume up and volume down. The keys themselves are fairly tactile and responsive. Tap and hold on the center key here to power the unit on, and continue holding to access the Bluetooth pairing mode, which is actually pretty simple to set up. You can see by the rubber caps that are covering up the charging port that this is a water-resistant pair of earphones. It's not completely submergible, I would say, for diving purposes, but if you're out in the rain, jogging with sweat, then they should still survive your regular day in and day out use. So pretty good as far as the overall construction and look is concerned. So let's take a closer look at the sound and kind of discuss that next. Overall, I'd say that the sound beats perform pretty well for a pair of wireless in-ear style headphones at this price point. I wouldn't say that they're truly audiophile grade, but they actually do produce a fairly clean sounding reproduction of vocals as well as instrumentals, and that's good news if you really care about listening to specific details in the music, such as with classical music. If you like listening to EDM music, it does actually a pretty good job. Now, bass is a little bit lacking. It's prominent, but it's not overpowering, so perhaps there could be a bit more of a kick in the lower frequency, but that tends to be an overall trend with smaller in-ear style headphones because they're limited by smaller drivers compared to larger over-the-ear style headphones that tend to be more bass rich. With that being said, mids and highs come across pretty cleanly. They're well-rounded. I wouldn't say they're super sharp, and listening to speech, if you're watching a movie, just listening to vocals if someone is singing, it actually does a pretty good job of reproducing that sound. And since it's wireless, again, you have the mobility of being able to move around when enjoying your music. The added wings here actually do work extremely well. It catches on the outsides of your ears and prevents them from falling loose. The added angle of roughly 40 degrees downwards, again, is an ergonomic choice that makes these hard to fall out. So I tried shaking my head around, I moved around, kind of sprinted outside, and they still stayed in place without any issues. So that was actually quite impressive. The Bose microphone also worked nicely in our tests, even though it's not noise canceling. So if you're in a really loud environment, it's not going to fare quite as well as more expensive Bluetooth headsets. However, it's a nice extra feature that worked with both iOS and Android when we did a quick test with it earlier. So that's more or less the BluePhonic WaveBeat Wireless Earbuds. I would say the look as well as the comfort are the two things that make these really stand out at this low price point. I like the fact that they're magnetic, they're easy to wear. I like the fact that there is the choice of this really interesting white and gray color scheme that's unlike anything that I've seen before. And the construction also seems to be top-notch, much more expensive than really the price would suggest otherwise. Downsides could potentially include the microphone, which isn't noise canceling, and the fact that they are a little bit hefty as far as weight, just because they used aluminum and metal materials, and that means that, you know, if you're wearing them for really long periods of time, then you might notice a little bit more stress. But all in all, sound quality is pretty good at this price range, and certainly would recommend them if you are a fan of the overall look. So check out more details in our upcoming article, but for now, this has been our video. So thanks for watching here, OS Reviews. This has been our video first look and a quick review of the BluePhonic WaveBeat Wireless Bluetooth Earbuds.